newer city. Oh, this is the one I helped build like a portion of the road on. Oh god, it's all loading in. Oh wow. Oh Jesus.
Whereabouts
This is
are
bigger than I
you?
thought. I'm at negative 98,454. There's no point saying the Y coordinate because Y coordinate
Oh
changes.
yeah, I'm there.
Hello. Oh, there's a plane. Is that the Harrier?
As close as you're gonna get. But yeah,
Epic.
heavier. It's done as close to scale as I can.
Yeah.
So every block a meter, so
That Android's smart with the nose cone.
yes, GR3 or try to
Yeah.
GR3 knows.
Hence why it's got the AIM-9s, the nice ones, as opposed to the Shrams, which suck. We've got the road. Oh yeah, I helped
Yeah,
build
no,
that. I'm quite chuffed for that. I helped build the
yeah,
beach.
the road. But now I've actually started to implement newer buildings, so you can notice. I don't know if your render distance is high enough, but if you look over to,
I can see
it
a
would be
skyscraper
not
in
really
the
a skyscraper
distance.
per se,
Or
but
like
yeah,
a
a
big
big
office
glass
building, yeah.
tower. Yeah,
A
I don't
helipad.
really assign like names.
Is this maybe like a
No,
fire station?
yeah,
There's a
as see
helipad and all
the
that.
tower.
Oh, aye.
Yeah,
Oh, you've got a tower at the back as well. Nice. That's brilliant.
see,
Got the
I
parking
couldn't figure
bays.
out
You've
what I
got all the
wanted to do with
gardens.
this space
All the gardens. That's brilliant.
in the back there, so I just decided to have. Like, these lines of buildings were literally made up on the spot when I decided, there's a lot of space here to add nothing. So why don't
Yeah.
I just add a line of shops and have a footpath?
Oh, that's so cool. I like the way as well you constantly like changed it. You actually found a use for some of the blocks, which is
Yeah, I
quite
was
neat.
just trying to make them unique rather than just copy
Oh, and the
pasted.
chains as well going across.
I really didn't
Probably
know
do
what
them
to
a few.
do with them.
Probably do
I'm
them
just
a few. Or
trying
you
to
could do it with
detail.
like the lanterns hanging off it maybe.
Yeah.
You could do that kind of thing.
These are sort of the older
Maybe
parts, so
benches.
you can tell, you might be able to tell like a difference for my designs
Oh.
the further more you go
Oh,
along.
aye. I've got like old
Um,
cottages as well, which is so cool. Massive roads as well. Have you been using
yeah,
commands or you just
so
been placing the blocks?
no, I've been placing the blocks.
Jesus.
So I'm assuming you're at the sort of the main road.
I'm
I
at
call
the
it
front
I
with
call
all
it a
the
dual
new buildings on it.
carriageway. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I call
street
the Ledger
lights.
Road a dual carriageway. I'm not really sure if it's really a dual carriageway because it has an island in the centre. I'd be inclined
Yeah,
to call it a dual
central
carriageway in real life.
reservation. Yeah, to an extent. Oh, you done traffic lights as well. Oh, it's brilliant with the buttons.
I don't want to use item frames because if I put enough traffic lights in, I'll reach an
Yeah,
item frame limit. So I
there's
use
a
buttons instead because I'm a
there's an item frame limit.
yeah, or at least there used to be when I originally played. So I just always tried
Yeah,
to
you just
avoid
kind of
using
always done
item
this.
frames. Yeah.
Oh, you've got the post box as well. That's I like that design. Is that a black stone? Oh, that's smart. I quite like that.
It's just
Oh, and it's
to
because
get
your
the
streets are all
black bottom
slabs
on
as
it.
well, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
to get the
oh, that's
black
smart. I like
brim
that.
around it.
I like that quite a lot. You've got all your gardens as well.
These
This
buildings
is
are sort
cool.
of older,
Who made it?
not in terms of the architecture, literally just in terms of when I built them.
Yeah,
So you notice like a lot of them are copy pasted. That's because I really didn't. Not that I didn't know how to experiment, just I didn't experiment with them
yeah. You
at
just
all.
chose to do it different. There's one or two wee differences, which is quite cool with some of them.
Yeah, in theory, since this is sort of a main road to a town, these should all, in theory, be shops.
Yeah,
Obviously these ones on these side, these are most definitely shops.
yeah.
Because they have the sort of the shop windows. Well, these ones over here really more like houses. A few of them,
Yeah, they're more like residential. Yeah.
which they really shouldn't be because if you look around the back, there really isn't any room for parking.
Yeah, it's more of a kind of walk. It's a bit like Millport. You know, seeing the way that is?
No.
It's just all the houses kind of thrown there, and there's parking elsewhere, like at the end of the street,
Yeah.
and you can walk down to the houses and all that.
I've went
Cool.
sort of more for a British
Your
style where
chimneys with your
housing come
pots as
first
well.
rather than like sort of the vehicle travelling. But as we get
Is it a
further
factory?
in that I've built more,
Yes.
yeah, there's not any factory in particular. I just decided to
Just
put
a
one
generic factory.
in. I think it's taken the elements of it are taken off from some different factories, none in
Yeah.
particular. So like this
Just a
section
variety
around
of
the
them.
back is a picture that I've seen of this sort of facade here. I seen that and I was like, that's looks like it'd be at
Cool.
the edge of a dock because also that's a crane. So I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'll use
Put it
that
here.
and then
Yeah.
things like doors.
Oh,
Which I do
terracotta.
actually kind of like this through
Cyan
here.
That is not cyan terracotta.
It's not cyan, it's grey. I
Let,
like,
let's. I'm
not to
curious.
personally toot my own horn, but I actually kind of like how this turned out. Yeah,
Cyan concrete, cyan terracotta.
sort of small like one-way access road through the main buildings. I actually kind of like
That's
that.
quite
And then
smart
you
as well.
have
The chains going across as if it's like railings.
yeah, and then there's a
Ooh.
small building there.
I never knew you could do that. The iron
What?
fence, the iron fences going into the walls. But it doesn't
I
do it with
really
the
didn't
fences.
when yeah,
Never really done that. It's weird.
and then obviously some of it is still unfinished because I do a project, leave it, and then go
Yeah, and then go to a different
and
one.
do another one if I get random spurs of inspiration.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather
Yeah, like the raw
input
houses here.
some of my things. I mean, it just gets repetitive because you're literally building the
Yeah, you're
same
building
house
the same
over and
thing
over
over and over
again.
and over again.
So I lay them out and I'm like, right, that should be fine for now. The idea with these is that these are sort of your lower class house, and then as you work
Yeah.
north or in theory east towards this, housing sort of gets better, and then more to your south does it get even more high
Is that a
class, and then as
castle?
you get yes, more on that later. And then as you go even more east, I want like a complete modern
You've just
district, like based off like Canada, like America, where you have big grid roads and everything. And
skyscrapers. Like, oh, it's like penthouses, isn't it?
yeah, that was the
It's like
plan. Just have
penthouses.
I couldn't figure out what to do, so I have penthouses here, and then what would like be a shop or something down below.
Aye. This is mental.
And
You
then
see,
I
I
actually
don't
do
have the
kind of like how
attention
these
span for
turned
this kind
out.
of stuff.
Yeah, I do like how these
Oh,
turned out, even
is that
though
the mud bricks? Yes.
yes, it
They
is.
look quite
These are
nice,
when they came
actually.
out, and I was like, it's all like the modern bricks that you get in the UK
Yeah,
now.
aye, because it's
So I
all the
was
kind of
like,
sand colour.
because
Yeah,
I've seen
that looks quite good, actually.
the. It sounds weird, but I've seen the houses at the
Was
new
she?
built houses in yeah. Like, I was like,
Yeah. Just up from McDonald's.
yeah. I was just like, you know what? I could maybe do something similar to that, and then this is
Aye.
sort of my main the big glass skyscrapers. So I'm using a mix of panes and blocks to get sort of that linear look to it.
Aye.
Like the reason it looks
That's
white is
quite
because
cool.
I've specifically used white stained
Yeah,
glass and it
specifically use
looks
white
white.
stained glass. It looks good. Is that another? Oh, is that a Lancaster? Or no? Oh, God. I just love the way you've got random wee things like this. What's this up here? Yeah, that's
I mean,
Lancaster, isn't it?
I think it's a bit of a crime if you're into Eureka
Yeah.
if you don't at least try doing it.
Yeah. Is this up at height limit or is it just
Yeah, it's at height limit.
it's a height limit? Nice.
So I was trying to get a distinction between
Guess
Hurricane and Spitfire.
yeah, I was gonna say guessing one of those might be a Hurricane, one of those might be a Spit. I'm guessing Spit is this one and Hurricane's the other one.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
Spit has
The
tried to
rounded
do
kind of
sort of more
wings.
elliptical one, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more slimmer than this, which looks a bit angular and chunky.
Yeah.
I do
Hurricane's
really
a
like
thick boy.
how the Lancaster came out, because also you got
Farmer
the banners
Patton's look good.
of the actual.
That's so cool.
I just sort of I didn't see anyone do the RAF Randall, so I was just experimenting. Going, you know what? That doesn't look
Yeah,
bad.
that works.
And then
You've
also
got it in the back as well.
the tricolour's fine. That was relatively fine to do. The
Yeah.
lettering was a bit difficult. I had to get a tutorial up for that, but
Aye,
got there
because
in
the
the end.
letters are pain.
And
How
then
bad was
obviously
it?
again, a lot of it is slabs. Like this entire thing is basically slab. So the bottom is
Hmm.
blackstone, I think, and then the top is obviously a camouflage pattern,
Yeah.
which works for these
Just a
sort of
mix
big
of it.
heavy Lancasters, but doesn't really work for the Spitfires and
Yeah, the
Hurricanes
smaller
because their
planes.
wings would be smaller.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well is that you could in theory sit inside these. I've not put the minecarts in, but also there is the space for it.
Yeah.
Actually,
That doesn't look
can
too
you get
bad to
into
actually make the RAF round though.
Yeah. It more reminds me of the later ones, and the white sort of circle was reduced in size. Also, your earlier ones were all even width between the colours within that.
I think so.
And
Something like
then tail guns, literally just done by using gates.
that. Yeah, just open them up.
I actually
Make
get
them
quite a
all
good
tail
view of
guns.
the plan of the thing. As you can see, my first mini roundabout there as well. I'm not too sure if we'd
Whereabouts?
quite at the skyscrapers.
Oh yeah, I see it. Where did I put my
I was like, you
spyglass?
know
There we go.
what? It would probably be ideal if I put a roundabout there because it is.
Oh, aye. Oh, and you've got
I'm
arrows going
no,
around it and all. That's
I'm
brilliant.
no civil engineer,
That's
but I was
brilliant.
just thinking it would probably be better
Yeah,
for
it would probably be
out there.
advantageous.
I'll move down just so you can have a look at what I had to deal with. Because originally it was like a crossing like everything else. Like those sort of same linear crossings, but in the block with the sandstone buildings, there's a small access road in between the housing because obviously there's garages, or at least for some of the housing there's garages at the back.
Yeah.
So I was having that in a
Oh, is that what
cross.
that is?
Technically traffic would be emerging
Oh, aye.
from, in a
That's pretty
sterile
cool.
area and a crossing, which isn't
Yeah.
too great. So I
So
decided to
you've
have
got
a
your kind of
roundabout
give
there
waypoint. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's
through
good.
there because it made more sense than a crossing did.
Yeah, so you're going down and you've got your arrow, and then you've got. That's brilliant.
I think I basically freehanded those. I don't think I laid like a circle out and then done the arrows.
Yeah.
I think I literally went,
You just
well
kind of
that looks
eyeballed
good
it.
enough,
Yeah.
and copied them on the other ones.
Yeah.
It just happened to fit first time.
That's
But
brilliant.
these buildings over here, more to the south side, are the ones I'm most proud in because they're the most recent ones. This block, I think, was more so inspired by me going down near Scarborough. I'm not too sure if it was Scarborough or one of the nearing towns, but this is basically what the houses look like along the front. So I was like,
Kind of mind if it was
interesting.
Scarborough or no.
And then again, use of mud brick.
That looks good though, especially when it. That's yeah, I like that. Kind of gradually fades into different types, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah. Thing is that I can probably try and describe whatever the housing's in. So you see sort of these ones, they have like the bay windows, they look
Yeah.
slightly more detailed. You'd be inclined to call them Victorian ones. Even these ones with the sort of the rounded arches on the windows, those would be Victorian. These ones up from that would probably be more Georgian, so older,
Yeah.
sort of King George the Fifth or the Fourth era.
Aye. Long
Um,
time ago.
very long time ago, 1700s, and then
Nice wee park
more
as well.
Victorian housing over here.
Oh, is that cauldron? I like that. The cauldrons on the trapdoors on the cauldrons.
Yeah,
Sweet.
these are Victorian, these brick houses here. This one's Georgian. This one's in between both. What you call
Oh,
a
acacia
Regency
wood.
period.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, acacia wood for.
Yeah. I was interested to find out what it was made of.
both that building
Intriguing.
and the other Acacia building are real buildings, or ones that I based off, or the facades of them are based off of
Yeah.
buildings that I've seen in London. I think this one's some form of Armed Forces Club. I think.
What one?
This one sort of tucked
Oh, that
into the
one.
corner.
Yeah.
I think so, at least. And
Oh, that's
then
quite cool.
one thing I've just realised now, if you look up, you can actually see the top of the castle keep, which I do kind of like.
So you went from building a city to you put a castle. Fair enough.
Well, the thing is, it is an older English city. There is medieval buildings, so I thought,
Yeah,
since
might as
I've
well build
got
a
a big
castle.
mound there,
What is it with you
yeah,
and castles? Every survival world have made you build a castle except the
they
Lad
just work.
Survival series so far. I
The
say
thing is,
so far because
they
we've
just
kind of got
work.
lost in the mines and we've not been on it since then. Because we've not had the willpower to go and try and
And
find a way
then
out the mines.
this one's sort of a larger. I'm gonna say it's
Oh,
a
that's
more
right.
hotel, if anything is. Or at least
Yeah.
that's what you'd probably use this big building for, especially with its proximity to the big grey thing.
Yeah. The big Castile. Oh, you built it with that.
Mhm.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, and that's. So I've tried to use
How many hours
cobble.
have you spent on this?
I'm not sure.
Did you lose
Eventually, I will
count?
go in and properly detail it all,
Oh, that's quite cool.
like
I like that
weather the
with
stone and
Dispenser.
everything. So you have this first section. This is mostly base of Scarborough Castle. You would have probably recognised that.
Yeah.
Maybe a hint of Scarborough Castle.
Yeah.
Backing on all day about sort of the reason behind it, you'll notice this gatehouse isn't connected to the wall there.
Yeah.
It's just like your layers of defence. So this
So that's your
gatehouse
kind of
with the
first layer,
fall,
yeah.
they can't access the
Yeah, they
wall.
kind of just walk up.
Yeah, because that would void the point of having another gatehouse. But you're walking along here, and then you meet a second gatehouse here.
This one is
And you
connected to the wall.
take a 90 and it's actually smaller.
Aye,
And then
more
you walk
difficult, and
in.
you've got all your
This
killing
is me
holes.
just laying out the path, and then this. You interested in your castles much? Because this is very much a real castle, and it's
Is it?
yes, or something I based off a real castle.
What one is it?
Tower of London.
Mm-hmm. I might go to
So
London.
it's
That's
basically
where I'm
a
going in summer.
more medieval rendition of what it would have
Yeah.
looked like with the tops here, because the real Tower of London's like concreted over. This one I've
Aye.
left sort of the wood floors on them, and I've put them in relation to how the walls work. Because one thing you'll notice
Wait, did you
is
do an interior in this?
I've not done the interior, but I've laid everything out. So if you walk inside here,
Yeah.
the wall is at the same place all the way up. So the wall starts from the very base. This wall here starts from the
Yeah.
very basement and works all the way up the top, because it's a structural part of the castle.
Yeah, it's a
So
key point.
that is the same wall
You've kind of done
that
your,
you'll
like,
see on the
what's it,
top.
joists or whatever it is? The stairs and
Yeah, the floor
slabs.
joist.
Yeah.
And then also you can walk through, and the walls are actually kind of thick because it was like as a castle. Like you can tell here,
Extra thick.
1, 2, 3, 4 meters that would be, and I think
Yeah, and
that's
that's
accurate to
3.
real life. The idea is it is meant to be very formidable, and in this,
Yeah, difficult to break.
I go through here. Is it? No, it is not. I'll get in. It's through here. So if I open that,
Just a second, I'm getting a night vision potion so I can see.
it's a lot better in here. So if you look in here, this is the crypt of St. John that's inside. It's a crypt. Yeah, is what it is. But was a medieval crypt, so there wouldn't really be much activity in here. You notice the stone floor juxtaposed to the
It
wood
changes.
floor out here. This is
Yeah.
because if we go down, and it's like this in the real castle as well, if we go down the stairs, I think this is the... Yes, there are stairs down. If we go down the stairs, through here, you'll notice, first of all, these are blocked off, because it's to sort of divide the floor up, and this has a vaulted ceiling. So it's, the
Ooh.
stone almost arches round, which gives it support for a stone
Yeah.
floor above. The wood floors don't have that, it's just the joists,
Yeah, it's just the joists on
because it's cheaper basically.
You put
Yeah,
so much thought into this.
I literally copy a floor plan or
It's...
multiple floor plans of it,
Yeah.
because they all differ, which is annoying. Then you go up, that's the floor we've been on, so we go up the next one. And I've tried to make all the windows and everything, so all the windows that you see on the stairs, I've tried to make them as accurate as you can get them.
Yeah.
You go up here,
There's that wall again.
to the floor above. Exactly, and you can see the stone below it as well. But if we go in here, this is the part of the Tower London that you might, if you do know it, you would recognise. This is the church in here. And this is probably my, even though I'm not particularly religious, the architecture in here I actually do kind of like how I've done it.
Yeah.
Because not only is it all supported technically, because this is all again like your angled stuff,
angled
but
stone.
you can actually access the wall walk up here, so you can literally walk around this, which I find cool.
Aye. That's quite
See,
neat.
the thing is that I don't
If I
think
can
there's
get
access inside the Tower of London. There's
Yeah, there we go.
also historical records of what the Tower of London, what the individual parts of the rooms were used for. And then again, this is where you'll have your other staircases going up to access the other towers. So there'll be that on there. There's one in this corner as well. And obviously, the only other tower is the main one that we've been climbing up.
Mm-hmm.
So we go up. This should be the last floor, and this is actually kind of cool. So to access some of the arrow slits up here, the wall that we had, the 4 meter thick wall, now has a channel cut through it.
Yeah.
And you can still access these bits, same as you would anything else. Obviously now it has cutouts, so you can walk along the walls, have a look out, arrow slits and all that, and so you can access this.
Oh, so you access the walk round. Oh, it's quite cool.
You walk around there and you can walk basically uninterrupted around the perimeter of the castle. Which I find pretty
it's
cool.
Funny, there's an arrow slit in the church.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then you go floor above, and you can access the stairs from basically all these for all the towers. You can go up here, up onto the battlements.
Yeah.
The thing is with castles that the battlements are meant to be large enough to the point where they cover your entire body like that.
Yeah,
and
so
just
you can
enough
hide completely.
of the trough or crenelle to look down and also fire down on things.
Yeah.
This here, I don't think has any. Oh no, has a staircase. I couldn't actually find what this is up here. I know there was like sort of, I guess you want to call them arrow slits or whatever up there, so I decided to add them, but I just put in a staircase just for the continuity of it all.
Yeah.
I'm happy with how it came out, but the fact that it's only all in stone is a bit of a turn off. Also, there's andesite on it, but it's not like textured, so it just...
That's mental. I find
I'll
it
go
funny,
in eventually and do
despite
it
all the things you've done inside it, you're still like, nah, I don't like it that much.
I will eventually, when I get the motivation to do it, do the interiors and also weather it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Put details in. And then the wall as well. I actually do kind of like how I've
I
done
like the
them.
way you picked such a good map to build a city in. You've literally got the worst things possible. You've got a dark oak forest, you've got a jungle, like
Yeah,
you've got all the
the
oak
thing is, I
trees.
didn't really.
You just kind of
If you
started
notice, the
building, it just kind
coordinates
of
are like 800
expanded.
meters
Yeah,
in one direction, because I literally made the first map I could see just to try and find a flat area just to build stuff on, and then I found this, seeing that it was by the shore, and I was like, you know what, that could work. So I started with it, and I've just went with it.
yeah, you've just kind of
Because you
continued on.
have, all this area inland that I could use. So as long as if I'm
Yeah,
limited in
yeah, you
width,
definitely didn't
like what
limit
would be
yourself.
elsewhere.
Oh, oh, that's a big ravine. All right, wow.
Yeah, eventually I will like cover over that.
This would have been good for survival. We would have had access to moss immediately,
Hmm
lava and water, and an abundance
Because
of
the
clay.
thing is, as much as it's
Jesus.
cool, when I'm trying to like make a semi-active, semi-realistic, city
Yeah, massive
world,
gorge in the
yeah,
side of it
like a
doesn't really help.
massive
Oh, oh,
doesn't
that's
work.
moss
But
as well. Oh, I
hmm
never realised that. Oh, the grass there's moss.
the
Hmm.
thing is, you notice where the buildings are, they are elevated up off sea level
Yeah, they're not on
a
the
bit.
ground. Yeah,
Eventually, I do want to start adding more elevation, so I don't know how I'm going to work it out, but I want more areas inland to be sloped up almost,
yeah,
as if there's actually hills and it's not all in one plane. Because one
yeah. So
issue
it's
is
got
that
different
if you're
elevations.
looking, as if you're looking down one of the roads, it almost looks like it continues forever, which isn't really too great for immersion sakes. Or
Yeah,
at least that's what I've been told um, by
that's what you've
various
been told.
people who are obviously a lot more qualified than I am when it comes to Minecraft city building. So they said try to say if you look down this sort of
Yeah,
main
have like a
section of
bump or
road,
something. Yeah,
have something to split it up almost. Also, I have these buildings here and it comes out into a junction, so eventually when I do finish it all, you'll be able to look down and see more buildings. So there's
yeah.
always something
It'll
else to see, so it
yeah. There'll always be
almost
something to
entices you
see no
to
matter
take the
what way
next
you look.
corner. So if you
Yeah.
come down to where I am the now, I actually do kind of like what's done here.
Have you got commands
Um,
enabled?
you should basically be above me. Yeah, see if you just drop down.
Oh yeah.
Because if you look down here, because you got the building there, but then it transitions into a junction, and then another junction. Then
Yeah,
you
and you've got another
sort of see
junction
the
there. You've got
buildings
the
there,
park.
and then you look left and right.
It's
You
quite cool.
always have building, so it
Yeah.
looks more full. Obviously, it still looks a bit lifeless because I've not really added any life like cars or
Yeah.
not really villages because I don't really want
Aesthetic
villages
stuff.
hanging around. But
Yeah,
yeah,
villagers can go
even
miss.
bits that I've not touched in probably a year now, like this, what I mean, they are here, still isn't finished because I've still not done any of the detailing bit. My inventory is literally filled with sort of basic building blocks.
Yeah,
So
well, you say basic building blocks. It's
yeah,
two
it's not
very
as if
different
I'm
things.
like
For,
texturing anything. It's
yeah,
like it's just all brick and sandstone. It's like how you use them. Because like when I first designed these are spruce wood. This isn't bricks like in real life, but I'd done that and was like, I'm really happy with that. Because it's
yeah.
a different colour than everything else. Then even when
Makes
I
it
look
stand
down
out
here, which I
without
done
standing out
slightly
too much.
later, I like these mainly because it is all the same colour, but it has subtle changes. It's like
Yeah,
this is more rougher cut stone and obviously the stairs there.
yeah.
And
It's
it gets
not
smoother at
as
the
well
top.
done.
The detailing is in the actual shape rather than the texture. Whereas if you're sitting with a full brick facade like this, really the only thing you can look at is the brick, and it's just
Yeah, it's just the same
complete
repetitive
uniform all the way
pattern.
along. Yeah. Sort of trap. You don't want to fall in a building. And so you don't want to over weather a building, but these are older buildings, so they will be worn.
Yeah.
You know, even when you look at reference pictures, it's maybe discoloured, like bricks, where it's been like repaired and stuff.
Yeah.
So the main idea was just varying it up a little bit, because as much as there is still like solid,
So it's just I don't have attention span for this kind of stuff.
I think that works. No.
Can I turn my render distance up more? No.
So I'm over basically that square with like the park area thing with the castle.
The park area with the castle.
Or it's near the castle.
Yeah, the park.
Don't know what I call it, because I don't have any street names. So the idea is the things with these buildings, they are blocks. They are blocks of buildings. You do have repetitive buildings.
Is that
Then
eyeballs?
they almost build the blocks independently from one another at different years. So you'll have a block of buildings that look
That's quite small.
the same, and then a block of buildings that look different from the other block, but they're
Yeah.
all the same, like this. And also as time goes on, buildings get demolished and replaced, so you might have a one-off setting. And again, colour also comes into that as well, where a building might be coloured differently, because the owner decide they don't want the bare look of them. There's lots of elements to it.
It's
I do
way
kind
more.
of find it a bit annoying sometimes, because I just look at it and go, I really want to do this. Because a lot of time I do something, I build it, and I go, I don't really like that. I prefer how it was before. Then we do it
Yeah.
again and go, should
Then
have
you
kept
just
it the way
keep
it
changing
was.
it. You just kind of fall into the loop of constantly changing things.
It is good to change things. It's good to experiment with things, because if you know you're changing it, you don't want to change it again. You know you're like satisfied with the final product. But again, it's
Yeah.
changing it is a bit tedious. I'm not too sure if you'll notice the gradual changing the windows of all things. So if you look back, basically
Gradual
the
changing
shore
the
front,
windows.
yeah, since I'm doing basically the same building design as the older ones, if you look at the beachfront, sort of just under the Javier, you'll notice the buildings that don't have interior, obviously that one's basically an exception. It's the
That's quite
dark
cool.
grey stained windows,
Yeah.
and they've been normal blocks, but then as I've went down, I don't know how far down, but I know down-ish, I've changed them. So if we go back to that sort of park section, you'll notice this Acacia building has white
White.
stained
Yeah.
glass, and I've went from that to further down the park to these white paints here,
Oh.
because I'm not too sure you've seen the older. You probably would have seen them.
Yeah.
Those older buildings are known for having really small window panes and having quite a lot of solar frames around them. So that's what that's trying to replicate. And I'm a lot more happy with them than obviously what I would have been at the very start when I started this.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough.
It's
Keep trying to think.
interesting, and then
Is my live stream showing up for you on YouTube?
I'm not sure.
See if it is.
I do plan on starting sort of the more modern part of the city soon, because you know,
Yeah.
finally have like a modern, like, you know, centre business district would be fine. Because I did just go through a spell. I was like, you know, I really want, you know, a big, taller office building. But if you come around to the shorefront, I'm not too sure if I would have told you this. I mean, it's only like 1% of an actual city. There's hardly anything. Still got a long way to go.
Whereabouts are you?
The beachfront, I'm using a couple
Beachfront. Yep, I'm just about to come out one of the junctions. Oh, me and Nathan helped you build some of this.
Yeah. But the main thing is some of the buildings here, not all of them, some of them are. Apologies, some of them are based off of that, of Wisher. I'm not too sure if you'll be able to tell which ones. But I'm mainly looking down here at these sandstone ones.
Hmm.
Because if you look down the main street, you'll probably see them. This corner one might jog your memory.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah,
Now.
you see it now.
Yeah. That's bad. I literally drove to Mushy last week. But to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to the buildings. I was more paying attention to the people who couldn't drive. But anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
uh,
And then I came up with the inspiration to do it, literally sitting in a car waiting on, like sitting in a car parked on the main road, and I was just looking and went, you know what? I could probably use with some of these. So I went on, found a couple of the ones that I found and just reproduced them.
yeah.
Basically,
Do you just sit in Google Earth, going to it that way, or is it?
I've only now started recently
just,
using Google Earth. A lot of it was just images.
or did you just Google it and then just...
And either OS Maps or Google Maps, because then you can see the individual layouts of the buildings.
Yeah.
But Google Earth has that functionality a lot more because you can actually see it in 3D and rendered. So
Yeah.
I've found it's a better tool to use than, you know, trying to cross over between images and then try and translate that into what you're seeing on a map.
This actually isn't coming up for some reason. I don't know why it isn't coming up.
Yeah, it's like it's not really coming up.
I don't know why. Oh well.
The